show you something really important. This is just in, easy to